Hello everyone, myself Dr. Shubh Arora. I once again welcome you all back to the lecture series of the subject Marketing Management. In our previous lecture, we started the second unit. Today is the second lecture of second unit, and today's topic which we will be covering in this lecture are branding decisions, new product development process. So let's first talk about what do we exactly mean by branding and what all branding decisions or what all branding work has to be done by an organization, right? And then we'll discuss about the importance of branding. So when we talk about branding decision, branding is basically when organization tries to create or build an image of its organization or of its company, right? Whatever business an organization deals in. So basically that company tries to build the image of its business in the eyes of the customer in the market, right? Why the branding is important and how branding can be done by an organization. See, branding can be done by keeping a brand name, by giving a name to your organization, by giving a name to your firm, right, or to the business which you are doing. Then you after brand name you need to have a brand mark, that is in the form of you need to have some kind of symbol, some kind of design, right? So any symbol or design which depicts and that sign or symbol, whenever the customer will see, will immediately recall your brand, right? So that will be the brand mark. And then after that it includes trademark, that is legally you have to get your brand or your company registered, right, under the Trademarks Act. So that is the getting the trademark for your organization, for your brand by the government, right? So these are certain branding decisions which an organization has to follow in order to build and create a reputed brand or make your business a reputed brand in the market as well as in the eyes of the customer, right? Now let's talk about what are the functions of branding. So when we talk about functions of branding, the first function is distinctiveness, that is a brand name has to be creative because it creates a distinctive impression in the mind of the customer. See, there are different brands in the, for example, if we talk about the shoe industry, right? So there are different brands. If we talk about pharma industry, there are different brands who sell pharmaceutical products, right, medicines, right? So if I talk about Cipla, so definitely you'll have in mind what kind of brand image Cipla has. Or if I talk about shoe industry, if I talk about Nike, Adidas, Puma, right? So immediately you hear the name or you see the symbol of that particular brand, you get a brand image in your mind as a customer, right? So this is why branding is important, and this is why the brand name has to be different from other brands, because your brand name, the symbol of your brand, will carry a different image in the mind of the customer, right? And second is publicity, second function of branding. So when we talk about publicity part, whenever you have a brand name, it helps the advertisers to publicize your product, right, without any difficulty, because your brand a different name, some other brand a different name. So advertisers need to give ads of different companies, different brands. So every brand has to have a different brand name so that the publicity can be done easily without creating any kind of confusion. And it also helps to, your brand name also helps to make your brand popular, right? And it also helps to make the customers aware about what you are selling, what your brand is selling, how your brand is different, right? And that brand name, that symbol can stay in the mind of the viewers for a longer period of time, right? Third is protection of goods. So when we talk about protection of goods, the branded products are generally the brand, the organization spends money on the product which that brand is trying to sell in the market. So that particular company has to protect the goods and services. That is, the packaging has to be done by the brand in a very good way, in good containers, good wrappers, right? Why this packaging part has to be good, has to be done in an efficient way, in an effective way, because the ultimate aim here of the brand is that in any way my brand image should not be spoiled in the market, right? So I need to spend equal money on equal marketing activities. If I am spending money on promoting this product, then I need to spend money in packaging, in labeling, right? So that I can protect the products and services till it reaches the consumer, right? Okay, so these were the three functions. Let's move on to the fourth function. When we talk about the fourth function of branding, it says customer loyalty. So customer loyalty is that branding ensures better quality at competitive prices. So that is why customer loyalty here is again very important. Branded products are available in all the parts of the country at uniform prices. See, whenever you go for buying a branded product, you will never see that the prices differ of a branded product, because they are available in different locations of the same country and the prices will always be uniform, right? So this way it helps to create brand loyalty in the part of consumers. Like example they have given you, you can talk about the example of Nescafe, that's a coffee brand, then Tata Tea, then Netraj. When we talk about stationery products, specifically pencils produced by Netraj company, right? So these were the four functions of branding. So we have done branding decisions and what are the major four functions of branding. The next topic for today's class is new product development process. See, when we talk about new product development process, this process includes certain stages which are required to be considered, and through these stages a company has to pass through till the product is commercialized in the market for the consumers to purchase, right? So as you can see in the figure, the very first step in new product development process is idea generation. When we talk about idea generation, it is a very first step. Now what does idea generation exactly says? Idea generation says that any new product which has to be developed is based on different ideas which are generated, right? Now ideas again can come from different sources. So they have divided that ideas can come from two main sources, internal idea sources and external. When we talk about internal idea sources, it includes ideas which can be generated through research and development cell of the organization, then some kind of suggestions or ideas or advices from the employees or the internal management. So all these would constitute the internal idea sources, whereas when the organization tries to generate sources from the external world, it could include specifically the ideas or advices or suggestions from the customers, from the distributors, retailers, suppliers, because all these people are coming in direct contact with the customer. All these people are directly dealing in the market, so their ideas would be very helpful for the organization to generate a new product or to get an idea that what exactly customer wants or what new can be introduced in the market. So after idea generation comes the second step, that is the idea screening. See, when we talk about idea screening, it basically means here all the ideas which were generated in the step 1, here those ideas are getting filtered. See, at one time organization cannot use all the ideas and cannot product or cannot invest money in producing everything, or cannot use all the ideas in producing one product. So all the ideas cannot be fitted in only one product, right? There are chances that one idea may be suitable for the product which company is planning to produce right now, but there might be some ideas which the organization can keep and use for the next time, right? Or can use for a different kind of product which can be produced in future, right? So when we talk about idea screening, the second step, here all the ideas which were generated are filtered, and after filtering, company keeps those ideas which are exactly related to the kind of product which company is wanting to invest in and produce, right? Then we come to the third step of a new product development process, that is the concept development and testing. When we talk about concept development, it includes that various attractive ideas are developed, right? Then a product concept is a basically detailed version of the new product idea, and it includes various very important consumer terms, right? So a product image, the way consumer perceives or actual or potential product, right? So all this is covered. So basically here in the third step, the organization, based on the ideas generated and filtered, the organization is now trying to develop the concept related to what would be the concept of the product which I am going to produce, right? Now how this concept can be developed, for example, you can see certain examples, like first concept can be if an organization tries to create or produce a car which may be very affordable in terms of price, and the size may be a mid-size car, and it is designed for family as a family car, and can be used for visiting your friends, or used for roaming around the town for doing shopping purposes, right? The second concept could be a mid-price sporty car. So price would be again affordable, not that high, not that low, and the look kind of thing or the features would be related to a sports car. Then third concept which an organization can come out with after getting ideas, third concept could be that a high-end mid-size utility vehicle which may appeal to those people who want a car which has lot of space, right? So who basically consumers who want maximum people to fit in a car. So kind of SUVs facilities, or SUV kind of car can be produced. So these are some of the examples that is related to concept development. After getting ideas, screening the ideas, filtering the ideas, a concept has to be developed by the marketer, and based on that concept, the product has to be finally processed further for the next steps. Now we come to the fourth point, that is the marketing strategy development. After the concept has been passed, the next step is coming out with different kinds of marketing strategies, right? So basically these marketing strategies includes three parts. Like first is that what would be the target market of the organization, what would be the value proposition, so basically planning about the value proposition, that what you will be charging, and in that charge or value, what will be you selling to the customers, right? And then talking about sales, how market share of the organization can be increased, what kind of profits could be met in the near future. Then second part of this marketing strategy development is that thinking about the price part, distribution, that means thinking about the promotional activities, and the marketing budget. That means the company also needs to do a planning that how much I am going to spend on in promoting this product. So basically thinking about the marketing budget, right? Then the third aspect is that thinking about the long-term sales. If I produce this product today and if I get this much profit today, then getting an estimation that what would be the profits in the long term which my organization is going to earn from this particular product, right? So thinking and talking about and planning about the long term sales, profits, how goals could be met. So all this is planned in this step, that is the marketing strategy development. Then we talk about the fifth stage of new product development, that is the business analytics. So basically business analytics involves what kind of business this product is going to give me in the current scenario, that means in the short term as well as in the long term, right? So when the organization is thinking and analyzing the business part from this particular product, the organization will try to review the sales, think about the costs which the organization is going to incur in producing this product, then the profits, projected profits from the new product which will be introduced in the market, right, and various other objectives related to this. Then we talk about the sixth stage, that is the product development. Finally, the product here is getting developed, right, and finally the organization comes to a decision that everything I have planned, I have a totally ready concept regarding what product I am going to produce. Now in the sixth stage, the product is getting developed finally into the physical form, right. Till now everything was in imagination, till now everything was on papers, right. Now after the paperwork is done, the entire planning part is done, now it's time that company has to invest and actually produce a physical product which has to be sold in the market. Then comes the seventh, after the physical product is produced, but take care that in initial stages the organization does not produces a new product in bulk. That means the quantity part is taken care, because a huge investment done at initial stages, and if the product does not get a good response in the market, then definitely all that investment might take the organization towards losses, right. So initially the quantity produced by an organization of a new product is very low, because the seventh point, that is a test marketing. At a particular geographical location, that new product is tested, right. And why this test marketing stage is important? This is important to check out that before actually launching the product in the wider market at a national level or at an international level, let us see that what response we are getting or what loopholes our product has, so that those loopholes or any drawbacks or any such kind of suggestions which can be improved and further investment can be done if the organization gets a good response in the test marketing stage. Then we talk about the last stage of new product development process, that is the commercialization. When we talk about the commercialization, that is if an organization gets a green signal or if an organization gets some feedbacks from the test marketing stage, implementing those feedbacks, suggestions, right, experiences, the further product can, those suggestions could be implemented, and then finally the product can be launched in the market for the general public at a broader level, right. So at this point, that is at the point of commercialization, the costs which the organization has to incur may be very high, right, and for producing the product in bulk, now for finally entering into the market, the organization might need a new building, a new space, or might get a place or get a factory on rent to produce this product, or for setting up a manufacturing unit specifically for bringing this new product in the market. So this was all from my side regarding today's lecture. You can also again have a look on the different steps which we just discussed related to new product development process. Again, you can just have a look: idea generation, idea screening, concept development and testing, market strategy, analyzing the business, product development, test marketing, and finally commercialization. The product has entered into the market, it has been launched officially and legally by the organization. So that's all from my side for today's lecture. I'll get back to you with the following topics of Unit 2 in the third lecture. Thank you.